Yesterday was a gorgeous day, and as I'm still on summer break, I tried to be at my LCS right when the door opened, and I swear it was 11:59, but they were already open and the shop was buzzing. Hey, this is James for Read More Comics. As I was sharing in my intro, yesterday was New Comic Book Day, and I went to my LCS, Buy Me Toys in beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana. Picked up probably one of the biggest stack of comics that I've gotten from my LCS this year. Maybe not, I don't know. Something I need to look into. These are all my subs except for one book. Okay, so only one impulse purchase. Let's go ahead and get to it. First up, and these are all in alphabetical order. If you haven't realized it, I like the alphabet. We got Absolute Superman. This is the John Jang cover. This has been a phenomenal run. It's building up to, at least last issue, was the start of a conflict between Absolute Shazam, which is really Black Adam, but it's not, because they kind of flipped the script, and Superman. And it wasn't going well for Clark Kent. Well, he's not really Clark, he's Kal-El, because he didn't grow up in the United States, raised by the Kents. Anyway, looking forward to seeing what's going on. The Absolute books, here we are 2 years in. They're still going strong. There's an event building up this fall. I don't remember what it's called. I saw it somewhere on social media, which I'll definitely be at least getting the main book and tracking it through the books that I'm already pulling. So, another Absolute book. And this was not the book I pre-ordered. I swapped it out. This is the David Nakayama variant for Absolute Wonder Woman. Another great Absolute book, and one of the best Wonder Woman books going on right now. Though, while there are a lot of haters out there, I really do like Tom King's run. He also had a book that came out this week. We have Captain America. This is a variant cover I went for because it has Doctor Doom on the front cover, and I've been reading a lot of Doctor Doom books or adjacent books, and I'm really digging him as a villain. So I ended up pulling this. All right. This is building up to, this is one of the connecting books to Avengers Armageddon, which someone pointed out in their video that the Avengers Armageddon book is actually just an Avengers book with Armageddon underneath it, which totally was a bait and switch. I thought it was something specific for the event. But anyway, I'm digging it, and this is, and we know that Captain America is not going to die, right? Right? Okay, so apparently he died, but he'll be back, right? And he's supposed to be in hell. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We have first indie book, Conan the Barbarian. Who did this cover? This is Nick Percival. That's kind of cool. That's it looks painted, but it's so hard to tell now, with how digital artists can work their magic. Anyway, this has been an awesome read. Very Marvel Volume 1, Roy Thomas feels to it. Jim Zub definitely understands Robert E. Howard's property here. So if you haven't read a Conan story before, recommend Conan. We're on issue 32, so it seems like we're really late in the run. We're not, though. Just about any issue could be an on-ramp. We have issue number 3 of Corpse Knight. This is the A cover. I was having a conversation with Mr. McGroovy about this earlier this week, and this is, I've learned some comic book jargon, okay? Decompressed. This is one of the most decompressed stories ever. It's a gorgeous book, gorgeous story. But like issue 1, the preview spoiled everything, The title, Corpse Knight, spoiled everything. It's like that's all that's been going on. It's a gorgeous book, a gorgeous story, and I'm glad I'm pulling it. I'm glad I'm reading it, but there's not a lot of meat to it, and you know, it's a miniseries, so we'll see what happens. You know, this is a fun book though. Well, not that Corpse Night is it. We have Doomquest by Ryan North. Alex Ross is doing all the A covers, so I'm just subbing all the A covers. So there's some gorgeous variants on this one. The concept is Doctor Doom was thrown back in time. In this case, he's in the 1920s. And I saw something in the solicit about being on the Titanic. I don't know. Maybe that's the next issue. But it's really fun. This is connected to the Free Comic Book Day story where the Doombots were like draining all this power because he was building a time machine. Okay. It's good. It's fun. And I love reading a comic. You know, Ryan North to begin with is an amazing writer, and he's one of the writers I'm beginning to realize I'm just going to follow if the character is adjacent to something I'm interested in. But I love how Dr. Doom talks in the third person. As a school teacher, I do that at school, and the kids kind of look at me funny, and you know, I like making fun of myself, so I kind of understand Dr. Doom's plight. We have Justice League Unlimited, Escape from Power's Planet, issue number 20. Okay, so this is the Dan Mora variant, and he is on the internals again. Dan Mora is a phenomenal writer. He's so prodigious. That's the word I'm looking for. He has been doing a lot, and he's one of the reasons why I got into Justice League. I mean, Mark Waid is no slouch either. The last couple issues felt like filler, like there wasn't a lot going on as aftershocks of DCKO. They're taking, so we have these three characters, Hawkgirl, Metamorpho, and Guy Gardner. They're taking a energy source that has, it's comic books, but has the energy, a little bit of energy of all the good guys, because in DCKO all their powers got moved around, and so somehow they worked out a device that would seep a little bit so they can save it, and they're supposed to be taking it to AO, and shenanigans happen. Well, not only because of this guy, but you know, this guy right here. Next we have Feral. This is issue number 24. That's a pretty decent number for an indie book. This one is still a phenomenal read. I've been lucking out and getting the horror poster homage covers. I happen to not pre-order this one, and that's the advantage of being a Wednesday Warrior. This was on the shelf with a couple of its friends, and I was able to grab this because that would have been really sad if all the other covers are horror poster homage covers, and here's this one sticking out like a sore thumb. This was my only impulse buy. I read a review of this, and I love anthology books and not event books. How would you label this? This is not an event book in itself, but it's celebrating an event that's comic book adjacent. So this is Summer of Supergirl Special number 1. Last year they did a Summer of Superman. This is several stories about Supergirl, and I got the homage cover of one of the movie scenes. So here we go. I really enjoy anthologies like this, and what sold it for me is I was reading a review, and the author of the review was saying, like, the primary story, it has both Supergirl and Lobo in it. Not a big Lobo fan. I mean, I get it, but it's not my cup of tea. And Lobo ends up going to jail, which struck me as funny. And so Supergirl has to dog sit Lobo's dog. And I went, that sounds like a fun story. And I like dogs. So this was a no-brainer. It's a nice cardstock cover. This is Mahmoud Azra and Mike Spicer. Loved the cover. There's two other stories, and well, the last story is kind of a data dump, a lore dump by Mark Waid about Supergirl in DC Universe history. So I thought that would be cool too. We have another DC book. This is a Black Label book and also a foily. We have, this is Swamp Thing 89, Swamp Thing, not Think. I want to say it's issue number 3. It is issue number 3. Okay, so we only have one more issue left of this. I didn't realize it was only going to be 4 issues, which is okay, because I really enjoy the Swamp Thing character, and anything I can get that's good, I want to read. So, foily. I've been getting all the foilies on this just because it's gimmicky, and I went, why not? We have 2 Ultimate Universe books. It's ironic they came out on the same day, and they have similar names, and I'm wondering if that was a good play on Marvel's part or not. Like, I knew about both of these because I'd been reading out Ultimate Spider-Man, some of the events like Ultimate Incursion, Ultimate Endgame. You know, I've been reading those because I really enjoy the Ultimate Universe. I think it's been a really strong thing. I haven't been reading a lot of the other stories like Black Panther, Ultimates, X-Men. Those didn't strike me as interesting. Like, those aren't hero groups in that place that I wanted to follow, but Spider-Man is. Okay, and I enjoyed Jonathan Hickman's run on it, though I felt the end kind of petered out. It was this wonderful story about an older Spider-Man who's married and he has kids, and his best friend ends up being Norman Osborn, and they fight crime together, and they find out this whole global conspiracy, and Uncle Ben's alive, and it was really good. And then it just kind of fizzled at the end, and I think it was because Ultimate Endgame is supposed to be the end. I don't know. I'm going to go back and read all the issues of Ultimate Endgame and then Ultimate Universe to see if maybe it stuck the landing. Because maybe reading month to month, I wasn't getting it. I don't know. Anyway, so we have Ultimate Endgame, issue number 5. This is the A cover. I really like the trade dress on this. I made a mistake a few times in getting like variant covers because I focus on this part instead of the overall design. And I just really like that. And then we have Ultimate Universe Finale. And this is supposed to be an anthology with the story from each one of the characters' viewpoint. Like the Ultimates and Black Panther and Wolverine. It's supposed to. And I saw something at the end of this one as I was bagging it up. And I went, it's a Marvel move. And then last but not least, we have Tom King, Wonder Woman. This is issue number, where is it? Number 34. Love the kind of color splash variant by David Nakayama here. I swapped out the book that I originally pre-ordered for this one because this was very cool. I just like how going with kind of grayscale and then the gold highlights kind of pop. This has been a really good read. There are a lot of haters online, I realize, because they don't like Tom King as a writer, and that's okay. This is the wonderful thing about comic books. There are so many to read that a person cannot possibly keep tabs on everything or read everything. It just kind of gets me that if a person doesn't like a particular writer or artist or character, why invest yourself? Why be that passionate? Life is so finite. Why not focus on things that are more uplifting? You know, characters that you enjoy, storylines you enjoy, artists, creative teams, writers you enjoy. I don't know. I was watching a content creator, and they were, you just can feel through the monitor, watching it in my den, I could feel the animosity just rolling off the screen. And I'm like, why be a rage baiter? Why not enjoy comic books? Because they're fun. Anyway, these are all my books. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. Leave a comment down below. Did you get any polls this week? What are you reading? If you didn't, what are you reading though? I'm going to be posting some content over the weekend about Old Comic Book Day. Had a great conversation with Mr. McGroovy about that. I want to hold back because I'm still processing a lot of it and looking at how I'm going to implement it. With that said, please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, life really is so much better when you read more comics.